what are the advantages and disadvantages of working at night?
Advantage. I think when I'm working at night, everything around me is so silent, and I can focus on my job really good. And the disadvantage, I think maybe I feel sleep after when I wake up in tomorrow morning. I think so.
Yeah, for me, the advantage is I work night shift all the time. My shifts are either 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or they're from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. next day. So I work the night shift quite a bit. The advantage is, yes, you are right. It is a little bit calm. There's less people. It's a little bit less work, but the disadvantages, and the advantage is that if you work at night, you get paid a little bit more. So you get a little bit more money. It's not very much, but it's something. So people will work at night. It's an incentive. What else? And parking is free for me, because otherwise I have to pay lots of money to park. But if I work at night, parking is free. Lots of advantages. And the disadvantages are that I don't get to see my husband, because my husband has a normal job. So he always works from 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 p.m., 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if I'm working night shift, then I don't really get to see him, because I leave the house when he comes home, I'm gone. And by the time I come back next morning, I don't see him again. So you see your family members less. And the sleep cycle, like I can never sleep well during the day. Like there's kids playing and there's light. So I feel like I cannot sleep as well as I could during the nighttime. Eating is very weird for me. During the day, if I'm working, I can eat, but during the night, like eating at 2 in the morning is just so weird. Like I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat because it's weird. So it just offsets the balance. But it's less busy than day shift. So every 2 weeks we do a switch. For 2 weeks we work day shift. For 2 weeks we do night shift. So it's a nice break from the day shift. But by the time it's my 2 weeks, I'm ready to go back to day shift. So, no, that's okay. Okay, so should we do the next question? Oh, night shift. It says, how do you feel the next morning after staying up all night? How would you feel, Cam, if you worked all night?
Because I think the first, I think I will be tired, and I think I can focus on job in the next day when I stay up late in the light before light. I think so. And because I rarely to stay up late, so really hard for me when I try to stay up late. And I think in the next day I can't do anything. I just want to sleep. And sometimes I try to stay up late, and in the next day I can do everything. And I just sleeping and stay alone, stay in my house whole day, and I think it's not good.
Yeah, I feel the same. When I do the night shift, by the end of the shift, I'm very tired. It's very hard for me to even drive home and eat breakfast or dinner, or whatever you call it, after my shift. And I'm so tired. Even when I wake up in the evening, I just feel like I cannot do my normal things. If I'm doing day shift, then at least in the evening, I want to spend time with my family, or I watch TV with my husband, or we go for a walk. But after night shift, even when I go to sleep and I wake up around maybe 3 p.m. in the afternoon or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I feel exhausted. I feel so tired that I cannot do anything. So I agree with you. I think sleeping at night is our natural cycle. The REM cycle is natural to sleep at night, and when you mess with that, it's hard. So do you want to read the next question, Cam?
Okay, if the child does not finish all their homework, do you agree to let him or her stay up night later? Stay up late. I don't know, but in my opinion, I think when my kids not finish their work, I think they should to sleep suitable time, with right time, and maybe with my kids, the complete homework not important, and I want they enough sleep, and I don't want they feel tired in the next day when they go to school. So I think so.
Yeah, my parents allowed me to do my homework and stay up late if I didn't finish it, because they said that it is your fault. You should have done it during the day, and if you don't do it, then it's your problem. But the thing is, Cam, it made me lazy, because during the day I would play with my friends, I would watch TV, I would do whatever I wanted, because I would say, it's okay, my parents will let me stay up late to finish my homework. So I didn't know, because when you're young, it doesn't matter about sleep. Like when you're a child and you don't sleep very well, it's okay, you can still function the next day. But as you get older, you need your sleep. So then next day I wouldn't be very tired, and I did that for many years, where I would get lazy during the day and then I would stay up late and do my homework. So I think for my kids, I want to tell them that we have to sleep on time. It's very important that they go to bed on time. So it is up to them how they manage their time to finish their homework. And they cannot play all evening, and they cannot sit on the computer all evening, and then at night, instead of getting sleep, they're doing their homework. So I think I will not allow my kids to stay up late, unless it's something special, if they're sick and they could not do it before, now they're feeling better, or if we have guests in the house, it's okay then once in a while. But I would want them to sleep on time, because that's one healthy habit that they need to learn early in life. So the next question is about people that work at night. So there's factory workers, and there are farmers that wake up in the middle of the night and they go and do their work. And it says, what do you think about these careers? Do you think they should really be respected? I think yes, of course, everybody that works and contributes to society should be respected. Um, even if it's during the day or in the night, but it's very hard to work in the night. And I just feel like overall there is no respect for farmers, in my opinion. When I lived in India, my family is from a farming family, and now I live in Canada and I am friends with many people who are from families of farmers, and there is no respect for farmers anywhere. They work so hard, they break their backs, they are working all the time. Sometimes it's putting the seed, sometimes it's preparing the land, sometimes it's cutting and harvesting, sometimes it's going to sell in the market. But even in Canada, the government says if you grow something, we will only buy 100 kilos of it and we will give you money for it. But rest of the stuff you can sell to the factory or something for less price. So the government doesn't really help farmers. In India, where I'm from, in North India, it's called Punjab. That's where I'm from. It's a land of farmers, and many farmers now, for the last 5 to 10 years, are committing suicide, going in the public and committing suicide in front of the government because they have so many loans they cannot pay off, because they have loans and they put water in their lands, they put seeds in their land, they grow the crop. But when they go to sell it, the government gives them very little money that they cannot even feed themselves. How will they pay off their loans? So many farmers are committing suicide. It's a very big problem these days. So I think we should respect farmers overall, not just because they work night shift, but I think because they work very hard. They feed the whole country. All of the food we eat is coming from some farmer's house, some farmer's hard work. But it's, we don't see the farmer, we just see the vegetable sitting in a basket. So we don't realize where it's coming from. So I think we need to respect our farmers more.
In my opinion, I think I always to respect with the hard worker every time and everywhere. When I was child, my father, my parents is the farmer, and I can feel the heart when they harvest on the field. And when I grew up, and especially when I go to some company for uh, making clothes, I feel the worker work very hard, and I like this employee. Sometimes I feel I like the employee working on the factory than some paperwork, because I like they do everything so directly, and while the paperwork just stay and thinking. But I think with paperwork, so you working hard, and the employee in factory so work hard. And in my opinion, when I really like the hard worker. I don't know. Yes, I think so.
No, I agree. I think there's so many jobs that are so much harder than what we do, but they don't get as much respect. They don't get as much money because it's just not recognized in society. Or I don't know, maybe there's many farmers and that's why they're not respected, because if there was only 10 farmers and if 5 of them decided they don't want to grow crops anymore, then we would be in trouble because we wouldn't have food. But now maybe because we have thousands of farmers, and if one of them or 10 of them did not grow something, we would still eat because it wouldn't affect the supply that much. So I don't know what it is that causes people to disrespect farmers, because I don't see very much, like I don't see people doing a rally. I don't see people even talking about it. I don't see people discussing with the government official what's going on. So it's interesting, but because I'm from that family and that area, that's why I know about it. Otherwise, it's not on the news very much. So people who live far away from farming, how would they know what the farmers are going through? You know? But everything else is on YouTube. We are talking about everything else, like from cutting hair to shaving our face, like everything is on YouTube. People post pictures of or videos of them washing their dogs and cats, but there's not a lot of information about what farmers are going through. So I don't know what it is. We are already on our last question. I think we'll have to make up more questions, Cam.
Okay. So what do you think a part of young people who do not worry about studying and career, but are busy going out all night to drink, sing, dance? What is the case of this? I think pretty popular in our society when someone else working hard, but some younger still enjoy and not doing anything. Okay, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think it's everybody's fault. Their parents are sending them out. Otherwise, they wouldn't have money. Like, I remember when I was in high school, my friends would go out eat all the time, or they would go out and partying. But my mom never gave me money for it, so I never went because I didn't have the money. My friends in high school, I used to take the bus to my school, and my friends had their cars. They in high school, if you're 15 years old and you have a fancy car and your parents give you all the money to party, what are you going to do? You are 15 years old, right? So it's the parents' responsibility. They are the ones that gave them everything and all the things to do. I don't think that partying is wrong. Like, I think it's okay if you party and if you enjoy yourself, but that's not the only thing you should do. You are staying up late at night and you are partying, and then next day you're not doing anything. So one night you party and then next day is also wasted. So you need to have value for your own time, you know. um, you do one thing one day, and if the next day all of it is also gone because you're tired or something, then it's not okay. Also, I think that just working is also not okay. I think partying is important. It is important that you go out with your friends. You don't have to drink if you don't want to, but I think just going to see your friends and stuff is really good. But if you are just working all the time, that is also not good. And if you're just partying all the time, that's also not good. I think we all need a healthy balance. What do you think? Do you think you have a healthy balance in life? Do you think
I think if that's okay if you are working hard and use money to earn uh, for party for dance, so okay, no problem. But if they can earn money and they spend money by uh, their parents, I think it's really bad. And sometimes I think I want to go to the club or sing or train so much, but just a little, and I want to change something, and maybe I want to keep balance in my life. And anyway, I think if you don't earn much money, you shouldn't to spend money for enjoying for yourself. I think so.
Yeah, I think if you have to prioritize, if you only have money for this many things and you're trying to do 10 other things, yes, you will have so much fun partying, like you will enjoy yourself, but then next day you are not going to have money for the things you need and you're just going to be so stressed out. So really, is it relaxing to party for one day, but then after that for the whole week you are stressed out? So I think, yes, I agree with you. I think if your life and your financial status does not allow you to do some things, you shouldn't. I think even if you don't have a lot of money, you can find things that are relaxing without spending money. I know it's hard these days. Everything costs money. Like you go outside, you start breathing and it costs money. Everything is expensive. But I still think that everybody should have fun, but we should have fun in accordance to how much we can afford to have fun. Because otherwise, I'm not saying that some people don't deserve to have fun, but I think that after you have to pay so much more with the stress, and sometimes you fight with your family if you spend too much money. So I think it's just so much more stressful to have fun for one night or one time and then pay for it later. I think that's why you should have a balance. Anna, you are here. How are you? We've already
I'm sorry.
finished. No, that's okay. We finished all the questions. So, Cam, what do you think? We should make her talk. We should make her go through all the questions alone and we should listen. Cam, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know because she late, so I think she should offer some topic for we can talking.
So, Anna, we already spoke about all the questions working about night shifts and how it offsets the balance in our life. Do you want to talk a little bit about night shifts? For example, if you've ever worked a night shift and how it made you feel and what are the advantages and disadvantages? If you want to go through those, and then we can pick a new topic and we can talk about it.
Yeah, may I talk about work at the night? I know working in the night has many disadvantages, such as you feel asleep in the next day. It brings you tired, exhausted, sometimes make you headache if you have to go to sleep late, and it affects to your health bad. You can get ill easily when you have to get up late, and if you have to work in the night regularly, you cannot sleep well. Maybe you skip the breakfast in the next morning, and it's not good. It's totally bad for your health. But it also brings some advantage if you working night, such as you can focus on your job and no one can bother you at that time, and maybe you have you work effectively. So the advantage is less than disadvantage thing. So you shouldn't working night regularly.
Yeah, I was telling Cam because I work night shift all the time. So for me, it's 2 weeks of day shift, 2 weeks of night shift. I was telling him the advantages. I get free parking because there's nobody on the road, so I don't have to pay $15 every day to park my car. I get a little bit more money, not very much, but per hour for my salary, they give me a little bit more. So people will do it. It's quiet, like sometimes the patient's families go home at night. Otherwise, if sometimes during the day, if someone is really sick and we have lots of visitors, lots of family members, like 10, 15 people in the room, and then I find it very hard to do my job and focus because so many people are talking to me, or they're talking with each other and they're laughing or they're crying. And it's okay because they're visiting their family members. They're having a hard time in life. But sometimes I find that I cannot focus. And then parking people, and I feel like I eat less during night shift. So I lose weight because during the night I don't feel like eating. So then I lose weight during night shift. So I just wanted to add to some advantages of night shift from my side. Okay, so Anna, if your child did not finish his homework, and then he said that he wants to stay up during the night and not sleep and do his homework, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, because working in the night have so many disadvantages for the health. So if my son hasn't finished on his homework, I will choose the way call him get up early to do his homework. Maybe he cannot finish all, but he have to finish some lesson that important to finish.
I think that's what Cam said. Cam said homework is not that important. You have to sleep for your health. You know, he said that it's not important for me. Right, Cam? What did you say? That's what you said. You said you want to prioritize their health.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was telling him about how my parents, I'll just quickly tell you, my parents would allow me to stay up at night and study. So, it's nice that they did that, but it made me very lazy because during the day I wanted to play with my friends, or I went on the computer or something, because I knew in my head that my parents would be okay if I stayed up all night and did my homework. So I don't think I would let my kids stay up at night to do homework, because then it makes you greedy. I would go out and play all the time, and then because I knew at night I could do that. And I did that for many years. So I will not do that.
But I don't think skip it is good for a child, because he has to trách nhiệm này là he has to responsible about his homework.
Yeah, but then it's his responsibility to finish it on time, and it's not my responsibility as a parent to always watch. Like if your child is 10 years old or 11 years old, then we need to teach them that it is their responsibility to finish it before 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or however you want it to be, instead of saying, oh, you have not finished it, so it's okay if you want to stay up until 11 p.m. because otherwise it doesn't teach them responsibility. For my case, it didn't teach me responsibility because I had to do my homework because I wanted to do well in school, but I also wanted to play. So what I ended up doing was giving up my sleep. So it did not teach me responsibility. I wish my parents had said, no, you cannot stay up at night. You have 5 hours after you come back from school. You can play, you can sleep, you can do your homework. It is up to you, but you will not stay up at night. So if you don't do your homework and your teacher is punishing you the next day, you can tell her that you were playing. You know, I think that's what not at first, obviously, if your child is 6 years old, they don't understand that, and it's not fair for you to be like that. But as they get older, I would like to teach them responsibility for their own time. So what do you guys think about time management? Are you good at it or are you bad at it? Managing your time during the day. At work or at home?
Managing the time.
Yes, managing your time. That means managing your time well or managing your time badly. So if you manage your time well, that means, say, when I go to work, I have a list of things that I'm going to do, and I do it in time. Or at home, if I say I'm going to clean my house, and if I am cleaning my house for 7 hours and then I'm tired, I'm cleaning my house, I stop, I go on my phone, I talk, I do something else, and it takes me 7 hours all day to clean my house. I'm not managing my time well. But if I clean my house, say in 2 hours, and then I can relax, then I can cook, then I can relax, or whatever I want to do, that means you are managing your time well. You're using it efficiently. You know, some people do their homework, like some people used to study with me, and we used to have this big fat textbook. And they would read the whole book. Even if the test was on 2 chapters, they would read and read and read all day. So I did not think that was good management of time, because you're only doing one thing in one day and all day. Like, you are not taking time to balance your life, and you're not taking out time to manage your day well. So what do you think about your time management? Is it good or bad? Mine is very bad. I waste my time all the time.
Yeah, I think manage the time is one of the most important skill that a person should have, because talking the time, everyone is fair. Anyone has 24 hours per day, and no one have more than 24 hours, or no one have less than 24 hours. But if you good at managing the time, you will work efficiently. Although you have 24 hours, but you arrange your work balance about time for your work, time for your family, time for yourself. Yeah. And when you go to work for a company, manage the time is always the skill that the employer require you have require you have it.
So how do you manage your time, Anna? What do you do?
when I still work for a company, I spend most of my time for job. So the time for family, for my son, is less. That's the reason why now I have to quit my job and stay at home and support my husband and take care of my son.
Okay, so that is something that you do for time management. You say no to things that take a lot of your time, and you prioritize. So prioritizing is a really good way to manage your time. You make a list of things that are important to you in life, and then you give your time to that. So prioritizing is really good. Cam, what do you think about your time management? Good or bad?
I think I'm not good when I manage my time. In my opinion, I think everybody always has 24 hours a day. We have to spend about 6 or 8 for sleeping, and 8 hours another for working. So we just have 8 hours for myself and for our relationship. But I think when I have a good skill for manage my time, I have a safe time for many important tasks. And when I have a good skill in manage my time, I have to do with higher hiệu suất là gì nhỉ?
Effectively.
With higher effective when I manage good time.
Efficiency.
Yes.
Send it to you. Efficiency. That means to work efficiently.
Yes, and I think the manage time is the first skill to have a training for my kids.
Yeah.
It's very important, and that's important than learn other knowledge because when I have a good skill for manage time, I can to prepare everything so good, and I know what the job I have to prioritize first, and last. When I because my time is limited, so when I know the job important first, I focus time for that, and I can do everything in a day. So I just focus on the most important. That's why the manage time very important, for I can work everything with efficiency higher. I think so.
Yeah, I think I don't know how to manage my time. Sometimes I do one thing for so many hours. For example, if I say I'm going to organize my clothes today, my God, you guys, I take so long. I just keep doing it and keep doing it, and it doesn't get finished. But you know, some people are so good. Like my husband is very good with his time management. If he says he's going to do something in 2 hours, he finishes in 2 hours. For me, I'm just there. So I think that's something that I want to work on. I want to improve my time management. I feel like I also use my phone very much. Sometimes I'm going on my phone, I'm changing the music. I'm like, oh, I will listen to music when I'm doing something, but when I go to change the music, I'm on my phone for 30 minutes, just wasting time on Facebook, on Instagram. So I just think that I need to work on my time management. It's so bad. And every time I do something, it takes me so long. And then I always feel tired. Like I'm always like, oh my God, today I'm cleaning for 6 hours, but it's something that could be done in 2 hours. So I feel extra tired because I took extra time for no reason. So, you know, it's my fault too. So Anna, I want you to ask us 2 questions because you were late. That's your punishment.
Let me think.
Okay.
And especially the some city for traveling. I feel in the day everything's okay, but when I traveling go there, for example, like Da Nang city, I feel in the night pretty boring. And nearby time there are many people ask the government to allow the night economy, and I think that is a good way for uh, make the people traveling go there pay more money for something service. So what do you think about night economy for the city travel?
You know, all the money that my city makes, most of the money that my city makes in Canada is because of night markets and night partying, clubbing, because alcohol is expensive, so people spend it. And when they're drinking, they spend more money. So I think it's good, but then how do the people of Dala feel if somebody came to my city and they wanted to make more clubs and they wanted to make more, like people would be loud, there would be more garbage, there would be more disturbances, things would be more expensive for the local people because all the tourists are coming. You are saying this because you don't live in Dalat, but if you lived in Dalat, would you say this?
I think I really like to Hello City because they are the last street very crowded on the night, and they can noisy every night. And at that time when I feel in the night, I have many other reasons for pay more money, and that is a good way for I can relax because when I go travel to other city, I don't know how I can do in the night. That's pretty boring.
Anna, what do you think?
Yeah, I think a city has busy night is good because there are many activity to bring money to restaurant or store, and through it bring tasks to your government. So if a city develop and the night activity in the night is not
So, but how would you feel? So, if your own city, like about tourism, how do you feel? It's nice because you have things to do, but if it is my city, like I live here and I don't have a house, I want to rent a house, but there's so many tourists coming and everybody is doing homestay, so I cannot rent a house, and at night I cannot sleep because everybody's loud, or things are more expensive because lots of tourists coming. How do people in Vietnam feel about that? I remember when I went to Morocco, it was very nice, but many people said that they do not like tourists because because of them, everything is expensive for locals. How do you feel as Vietnamese citizens about that?
I saw many famous city on the world. The people they are facing with there are many tourism go there for traveling, and it's make everything so expensive for the price for a house really high and really hard for someone to find and rent a house. But in Vietnam, I think that's problem not popular, and because maybe uh, the people of Vietnam so not much, and thus focus on some city, biggest city like Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi capital. But around that biggest city, there are many small city, and and the price of house really low. And I think the that's problem not popular in our society.
So in Canada, near my city, maybe 4 hours of driving, there is this Lake Louise. And when I moved to Canada, I went there and it was so beautiful. It looked like it was heaven. So slowly more tourists are coming. Before we could go and spend $150 per night and stay there in a hotel. That was 2010. Last year, one night was $400 to stay in a hotel. Not 150, it's $400 because lots of European tourists coming there and hotels are giving price for more money. So for me, I love that people are visiting Canada. I don't think it's the tourists' fault that hotels are making rooms more expensive. I mean, this earth we should share with everybody. No one's name is written on Lake Louise. It's not mine, it's not yours, it's not Canadian government. It's on earth, it's for us to share. But I think the bad guys are the hotels because they are greedy. So big companies are the ones that make things expensive. We always say that, tourists are coming and now things are more expensive. But who is making things more expensive? It's the Canadian hotel that makes things more expensive. If you go buy a bottle of water and one store is $1 and the other store is $5, it's not because of tourists. They're just doing it because they are greedy and they want to make more money. So, I feel like sometimes people say that tourists are making Lake Louise more expensive, but I think it's the Canadian people who are making it more expensive because they want to charge the tourists more. So they charge locals more and they charge tourists more. But it's no one's fault. It's the corporation. It's a big corporation. They already make millions of dollars. On top of that, now they charge more because they can. Because if I don't want to spend the money, it's fine. I will drive back to my house. But if you are from Italy, you are from Spain, and you are visiting Canada, you have to buy a hotel. You cannot drive back to Spain. It's so they don't have a choice. So I think, yes, tourists make things more expensive, but who is changing the price? It's a Canadian hotel changing the price. Anna, what are your thoughts on that?
Gì vậy Cương? Chị không hiểu nói gì hết.
Khi mà du lịch tức là có quá đông người đến một thành phố du lịch ấy, thì nó phát sinh vấn đề là các cái chi phí về phòng ở, nhà đất và các chi phí khác rất là cao, rất là khó để một người dân để có thể thuê được nhà. Nên đó là lý do tại sao mà người dân bản địa người ta không có nhà và không thích có nhiều khách du lịch trong đó. Thì ở Việt Nam có xảy ra tình trạng đấy không?
Đâu có hình dạng đâu.
Ở Việt Nam cũng có mà. Đà Lạt ấy, cái dịp giáp Tết mà chị đi ấy. I think in the Đà Lạt city, especially nearby the Tết holiday at the end of each year, they are very hard for I can find a hotel because there are many people to go there for relax, and really hard for I can find a hotel at least one night. But I think that's the problem on the end of each year, and the normal day really good.
Okay, Anna, do you have your questions ready for us?
So I heard there's
I think maybe Anna stay up late and she feel tired.
Anna is tired today. Anna, that is why you should not wake up during the night. That's our topic today. Sleep is very important.
Yes, I know, but sometimes I stay up late.
Okay.
Apart due to I'm familiar with stay up late
Yeah.
for a long time, and
Yeah.
although I go to sleep early, but I cannot sleep.
Yeah. So you go to bed early, but you cannot fall asleep. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. That makes sense. So who sleeps the most in your house, Anna? Who sleeps the most hours in your house?
Who sleep? Sorry, who sleep?
Who sleeps the most in your house? Who sleeps the longest in your house?
so you're saying
Yeah. Of course, my son.
And what about your husband?
He's sometimes he go to sleep, go to bed early, and sometimes he go to bed late. Not stable.
How about you, Cam? Who sleeps the most in your house, and who sleeps the least?
Of course, my kids. In my house, I always do sleep earliest, and I wake up earliest in my house, and then to my wife for exercise on each morning and go to the market, and then to my daughter because she have to go to school at 7 a.m. and the last is my son. He have to go to school at 8 a.m.
He has to go at 7. So your daughter goes at 7 and your son goes at 8.
Yes.
Why are they doing different times?
Because my son is in the kindergarten, and my daughter is primary school.
Okay, I see. And are your children learning English in school now?
Yes, my son thus learn English in his school, and my daughter also learn English in her school. But in my opinion, I think I don't want they learn English so earlier, because I felt the teacher teaching English in their school, I feel not good, and I don't want to learn some mistake, because when they grew up very hard for change, and that is a problem with the English teacher of their school.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I think that nowadays times are changing, and there's lots of other options to learn. Like, you don't have to learn from school. And I think, Cam, your English is so good that you can even teach them, because they're so young that you know so much more. And you can even get books that you can see what kids in America are learning in grade 1 or kindergarten, what kids are learning in Canada in grade 2 or 3, and then you can teach them, because your English is so good. You know, back in the days when we were kids, we only had school. We had no internet, we had no YouTube, we didn't have online classes. But I think now there's so many sources of learning that you don't have to go and learn from school. For us in Canada, obviously everybody speaks English, so you learn it naturally. But for my family, we try to tell the kids to speak in Punjabi, to speak in our language. Otherwise, they're going to forget it. Because every day you go out, you speak English all the time, and you speak less of your own language, especially my nephew and my niece. They are born in Canada, so when they go outside, they only speak English, then they will not learn Punjabi. And it's very important that they also know their own language, because how else are you going to talk to your elders? And also, knowing more languages is very good for the brain too. So, yeah. Anna, what do you?
Sorry, please turn on your mic.
Oh, sorry. So, Anna, what do you think your kids, do you think they should learn at school these days, or do you think you prefer for them to learn somewhere else? Maybe watching cartoons on YouTube or singing songs or something.
In Vietnam nowadays, I think